Rod Walker, and I wear multiple hats. I'm also the founder and president of the nonprofit called the Blue Ridge PRISM, Partnership for Regional Invasive Species Management. And spent 40 years in IT consulting, having absolutely nothing to do with any of the stuff we're sitting here talking about. But I've always been had a love of the outdoors, and so it's become a great retirement project. When I was 7 years old, we moved to a property in rural Pennsylvania where all our neighbors were farmers. That got me introduced to hunting and fishing and cutting firewood and maintaining forests and fields and gardening and all kinds of things. So from a young age I got introduced to the outdoors fairly substantially. After I got out of college, I bought my first 180 acres. I took that as an opportunity to learn about forestry. And so I read all kinds of forestry books and learned about how to do all kinds of forestry things. About 15 years ago on this property here in Virginia, this is where I got introduced to the concept of invasive plants. We discovered that we had about 20 acres up against the national park, Shenandoah National Park, where you literally couldn't walk into it. I mean, it was just a solid mass of bittersweet. I got connected with Jay Hughes in the Shenandoah National Park. He's their invasive plants guy over there, and he suggested I look into the concept of a cooperative weed management area, which I did look into. But it really led to a bigger discussion of this isn't just a problem with 20 acres, it's a problem with the entire national park, and in fact this entire part of the world. But it's not just a question of native plants, because it turns out all our native insects, birds, animals, and other things have co-evolved with the native plants. And if you replace the native plants with things that they by and large don't utilize, you also have fewer insects, birds, animals, fish, everything. And then there's other things that happen. If the canopy goes down along the streams, then the stream water warms up. And all of a sudden those native brook trout streams don't support the native brook trout or other fishes that were there before. Between Maine and Georgia, the American chestnut was the dominant hardwood species in the forest. It was a massive producer of food for wildlife. It produced some absolutely fabulous wood and a lot of other products. People used the bark, and people ate the nuts as well. So it provided a lot of great uses. And basically they pretty much all died out back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And now there's various programs trying to restore them to the forest. But first we have to overcome the blight that actually kills them. And so that's what's really being focused on. I'm a member of the board of directors of the Virginia chapter of the American Chestnut Foundation. They have a dozen or so breeding orchards in the state of Virginia as part of that program, one of which is resident here on the farm. So in addition to that, I have received nuts from the organization that I've planted on my own. So out here in the front yard, there's maybe 15 chestnut trees out here that are anywhere from 5 to 15 years old. Blue Ridge PRISM is now 11 years old, and the mission and the strategy is to provide education and information so that landowners understand what they're dealing with and how to most cost effectively make progress and head off the problems that would otherwise be inevitable. Even if you take care of all the invasive plants on your property, then the next thing you have to do is defend your borders. And what better way to defend your borders than to get your neighbors to do the same work? So that's what you really want to accomplish. If you really want to make a change, you've got to deal with this problem on a landscape scale and get lots and lots and lots of people to do this.